potential is a momentary change in electrical potential on the surface of a cell, especially of a nerve or muscle cell that occurs when it is stimulated.
I got it from my daddy. I got it from my daddy. I got it.
Hey, where'd you get that body from?
I got it from my daddy.
Cardiac muscle is found solely in walls of heart and it is under the control of autonomic nervous system. It is an involuntary muscle and has pacemaker cell that contract without nervous input. While skeletal muscle is attached to bone and contract to facilitate movement of skeleton, it is also known as threaded muscle and is voluntary and its ability to stretch and contract and still return to original. Now, I'm going to share about the differences between graph of action potential of cardiac muscles and skeletal muscles. Graph of action potential of cardiac muscle.
This is the graph of action potential of cardiac muscle. Phase 0, depolarization, rapid sodium ion influx to open fast sodium ion channels. Phase 1, brief repolarization, transient potassium ion channels open and potassium ion efflux retains threshold membrane potential to 0 mV. Phase 2, plateau, the influx of calcium ion through calcium ion channels is electrically balanced by potassium ions efflux delayed rectifier potassium ion channels. Phase 3, repolarization. Calcium ion channels close but delayed, rectifier potassium ion channels remain open and return threshold membrane potential to negative 90 mV. Phase 4, sodium ions, calcium ions channels close. Open potassium ions rectifier channels keep threshold membrane potential stable at negative 90 mV. Graph of action potential of skeletal muscles. This is a graph of action potential of skeletal muscle. Phase 2, depolarizing phase. Sodium ion channels open, sodium ions begins to enter the cells. Phase 3, repolarizing phase. Potassium ion channels open and potassium ions begins to leave the cell. Phase 4, undershoot phase. Sodium ion channels become refractory. No more sodium ions enter the cell. Potassium ion channels begins to open and further efflux of potassium ions. Phase 1, resting state. Potassium ion channels close. Sodium ions channels reset. So it is different, right? The membrane potential of cardiac muscle is stable at negative 90 mV while the membrane potential of skeletal muscle is stable at negative 70 mV. In cardiac muscle, depolarization enters via gap junctions. In skeletal muscle, net sodium ion entry through acetylcholine operated channels. The threshold value for cardiac muscle is negative 90 mV while the threshold value for skeletal muscle is negative 55 mV. Plateau phase is a period of maintained depolarization, but how it happens? This happens due to inflow of calcium ions as the voltage-gated calcium ion channels slowly open in sarcolemma. The greater inflow of calcium ions kept the channels open against balance of potassium ion outflow. Since calcium ions bind with troponin allows the contraction in a stronger force of cardiac muscle than skeletal muscle. Plateau phase is present in cardiac muscle but absent in skeletal muscle. This is a graph showing the action potential of skeletal muscle. Let's look at it. This is the refractory period of skeletal muscle. Wow, it's very short. It only lasts for 1 to 2 milliseconds.
Now, let's look at the graph of action potential of cardiac muscle.
This is the refractory period of cardiac muscle. This refractory period lasts for about 250 to 300 milliseconds. What happened? Why the refractory period of skeletal muscle and cardiac muscle are different? Why? Why?
I know, let me tell you. In skeletal muscle, fast sodium potential channels often contributing in short refractory period. On the other hand, in cardiac muscle, slow calcium sodium channels often to produce a long refractory period. The short refractory period of skeletal muscle allows tetanic contraction or rapid action contraction. The long refractory period of cardiac muscle cell allows the heart to relax and all stimuli for full blood flow back to the heart.
This enables the heart to pump blood and then to relax to be filled with blood. That's all for the refractory period of skeletal muscle and cardiac muscle. Thank you.